Hey, how's it going, guys? I'm Paradoxic, and welcome back to The Walking Dead. Episode 18 has just come out, following the continuation, the series coming back for a few bonus episodes. So, yeah, it's like, so it wasn't originally planned for season 10, but I think now, with everything going on, like they actually wanted to actually add some stuff onto the story to help flesh out a few more things and show off some extra bits for certain characters. So it's not, I think, it's not going to have everyone in it. So I don't know if they're actually going to show what's happening with Eugene and Princess and the kind of the Commonwealth. I was about to say communist, the Commonwealth people. um, but I don't think they're gonna go with them just yet. Maybe like one episode just to kind of show what's happening. But for the most part, it is just kind of giving certain characters a little bit extra screen time before we jump into the 11th and final season. And then we'll see what's happening there. But yeah, so on to episode 18. So we had Maggie returning. Maggie did return, and she returned with Elijah and Cole. So we finally got a name for them all. We got a name and a face for the masked guy. The guy with the mask was called Elijah, and he is one of Maggie's friends from like an older kind of community, from a somewhat older community, like one of the communities she was actually bouncing back and forth with, and from her most recent community, I think too, like the most recent one, and also one that was hit by the Reapers. So we met two of her friends and two others who jumped in right at the very end. And we also met the Reapers, like a new-ish kind of enemy that Maggie herself has been facing, and Maggie and and Elijah and Cole actually lost their kind of community and their community and their home too. And the one guy they managed to interrogate for like 10 seconds said one thing, just one thing. Pope marked Maggie, and then he blew himself up with a grenade. So it was a very briefly kind of informative kind of interrogation in the middle of the woods. But he was he was a sniper, a damn good sniper. He managed to take out 3 of her people before actually taking himself out to avoid capture or further interrogation. So that was fun. But the Reapers, I think we don't really know much about them. I mean, if that one guy is anything to go off of, maybe they're like highly trained or professional or skilled in like combat. Because I think that guy was wearing like full on body armor, and like he had like camouflage, like full on like military tactics and everything, and like a military grade like sniper rifle and everything. So they might be well armed or trained or whatever. So like a highly kind of like militant kind of group, but we have to wait and see if they're all like that or if some of them are barbaric in other ways or what it is. But that was fun. So we had Maggie and the Reapers, and I think with Maggie coming back, there was pretty much from the get-go, pretty much from the beginning of the episode, there was that inevitable kind of run-in between her and Negan didn't really know what else to say besides from "Hey Maggie," and he said "Hey Maggie," which was bad enough as it was. But yeah, I mean, we didn't get an interaction between them two, which I think is for the best. But Maggie did kind of converse with Daryl, saying that she would worry about Negan when that kind of time came, but right now she was focusing on finding a new home for her people. Now that Hilltop burned down too, so she actually discovered the ruins of Hilltop and found out that Carol had actually freed Negan, and he was working with the Whisperers and helped to actually burn them down too. So that was all fun stuff. But yeah, so Negan, I mean, yeah, I think they're not. I think for right now they're not going to focus too much on pushing Negan or Maggie together for any kind of dialogue or any kind of scene. I think for the most part it is going to work on Maggie actually returning back to her original people and seeing what can be done and everything. Because Michonne's not around anymore, so she's going to have to be told about that, and Rick as well. I think she doesn't know. I don't know if she knows Rick's gone. If she was around, I think she wasn't around after that time. I don't think. Yeah, I don't think so. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think so. But either way, stuff has happened. People have gone. A lot has changed, so she'll need to be caught up to speed. And I mean, I don't know how much the letter covered besides from the Whisperer threat. So because I think that was the main reason she came back to help. Like there was a new group of people out there hunting down and killing the survivors and stuff. So she needed to come back and help her original peeps, and she brought back Elijah for that too. So yeah, but I think catch up will be probably in the works, and then actually, getting her reunited with whoever, with all the people that are left and everything. So, yeah, and again, it's bonus episode, so we don't know how much of this will be covered in this kind of in this section of the series. And I think I don't actually know how many of that, like how many bonus episodes are on. I don't know if it's like 5 or 6 or 7, or is it just like a handful before they go into season 11. So. I don't know. We just have to wait and see. So there was that, and of course the highlight of the episode, undoubtedly the highlight, undoubtedly the moment we were all living for, our first official glimpse at Baby Herschel. But I mean, well, again, not Baby Herschel, but still like mini Glenn, mini Glenn Herschel. He is a spitting image of his dad, Glenn Rhee, and he is just. He's the one person as of yet that we've met that we would all die for instantly. He's a treasure, and he must be treasured. He must be protected at all costs, and he's just adorable. He's an adorable little being, and he must be protected at all costs. And I expressed in the last reaction concerns I had about the writers maybe trying to push Negan and Herschel together like they had with Judith. I think with Judith it was less concerning because Judith had once we jumped forward, we saw that Judith was very much capable of actually handling herself and actually protecting herself. So there was somewhat less to worry about, and she wasn't really worried about letting Negan in her head and everything, because he hadn't hurt her as badly as he had actually hurt Herschel. With Herschel, he lost his dad to Negan, and Maggie even told Daryl about how Herschel had asked how his dad died, and she told him, and then he asked did the bad man who killed him pay for what he did? Like, is he has he been held responsible and accountable for his own actions? Not in those words, but still, he actually asked that question. So then, once he finds out that if and when he finds out that Negan was the one responsible, then he might either have more questions or he might try and throw a few punches at Negan's kneecaps or something. But either way, I think it'll be interesting to see what happens. But yeah, I honestly don't want to see it happen, but I also can't see it happening. I think the writers are smarter than to try and push Negan and Herschel together. I think Negan might. I think seeing how he's actually managed to forge something successful with Judith might give Negan some kind of misinformed conceptions that he can try and do the same thing with Herschel, but then he might be very, very quickly corrected by both Herschel and or Maggie, and Maggie will warn him to stay the fuck away from her son and stuff. So yeah, and then Herschel will, send some, passive aggressively kind of, filled words of his own his way. So we just have to wait and see. But seeing Herschel was honestly just one of the only highlights. After seeing an episode of gore and death and tragedy, seeing Herschel was the great uplifting moment we needed from the show. So yeah, hopefully this episode we get some similar stuff. But it is The Walking Dead, so balance is always necessary. But yeah, I think that was pretty much it. I think Elijah. We saw Elijah and Kelly connecting a little bit. Elijah also had actually lost his sister, and he was kind of given words of consolation from Kelly, and they kind of had a little fist bump moment in the trailer later that night. So it was good to see them bonding, and Kelly and Maggie bonded too. Them two being sister, former. Well, Maggie being a former sister, and Kelly still being a current sister and everything. So they kind of bonded over that kind of protectiveness they had and each received from their family and everything. So that was fun. So yeah, the bonus section of the season started off pretty strongly. I enjoyed the episode, so I can't wait to see how they actually continue it and where they actually go from here. So yeah, that is pretty much all I have from the last one. So on to episode 18 of The Walking Dead season 10. As always, this will be the highlight reel, the reaction, so if you guys want to catch the full-length version, that one will be over on Patreon, so you can go see that one over there. But yeah, The Walking Dead. Let's go. Oh, dog. We're going to have an episode with Daryl and Dog. That is an episode I am completely fine with. Daryl and Dog is a duo I cannot wait to see more of.
Said it's because I had a really special, strong right foot.
Great for pushing pedals. Yeah.
Could do venison tonight.
Venison. That's a type of animal, right? Or at least like a type of meat. Yeah. I know it's a kind of meat. I don't know if there's a type of animal though.
The other deer are probably long gone by now. What if we try the big valley up north? It's fine. It's nothing. It's just a foot cramp.
You're very special strong, right?
I was about to say, your special foot is cramping
Yeah,
up. That's not a good sign. Oh, it's a bit of vision. Did she catch one? I think she caught one. Yeah, she caught one. Yeah, got it first time. There we go.
That's beginner's luck.
Like everything that's good in the world is not on our side anymore.
We rebuild. We start over.
Until it happens again.
It's a fair point. It is a running theme throughout this series.
long
You
run,
find
longer
something
than
good
most.
and then it turns to shit. Oh, it's a cabin. Huh. Oh, you needed a place to stay. Now you have a literal place to stay. You don't have to, like, set up like a campfire or anything. Whoa, that's Dog! That's Dog, and he had another owner. Daryl remembers this place. Oh, Dog probably remembers this place too. Yeah, he detected the cabin on the way out here. Oh yeah, he remembers this place. Oh, look at him, all tippy-tappy on his toes. I actually like this color grading for the flashbacks. Yeah, it's nicer to look at than the grayscale 5 years ago. 5 years ago. Oh, he's a pupper! He's a pupper! He's a pupper! Oh. Oh, and Dog's already in love with him. Dog's already in love with him.
I should go. There's a storm coming.
Don't land in the water, okay.
Thanks.
You see, if I throw that, it would likely land in the
Careful.
water. It would likely end up landing in the water.
Oh well.
Oh no, the map's ruined. Oh no. Oh, the map's gone. No, the map's gone. Ugh. Oh. Okay, careful not to get struck by lightning now. That's really unideal.
She lived here.
It was a long time ago.
Who was she?
Will she want to know?
Whatever you want to tell me.
A recap would be nice, because I can't remember jack shit. If it, you know, assuming it was actually mentioned in the show.
Bad idea.
Yeah, especially with a double barrel aimed at your face.
Should I?
Is he taking him back to that house again? Yeah. Same place, same woman.
He likes you.
He's just a dog. You don't know any better.
Self-depreciating humor.
Won't
Yeah,
tell me
everyone's
your name.
favorite kind of humor.
Dog.
Oh, she named him Dog too. She named him
Just
Dog
Dog.
too.
You
Yeah.
got something better?
No. At least you won't forget what he is.
Yeah. They're gonna get along well. You can tell that already. They're gonna get along well.
Into the deal there.
Yeah.
Be careful out there.
Isn't she from X-Men Origins Wolverine? The name, the face even, is really familiar. I feel like I remember seeing her in in Wolverine. Yeah. Yeah, I think she might have been in that.
Name's Leah.
Leah. Okay. That name rings a bell. That name rings a bell. Leah. Did he mention Leah before? Did Daryl mention Leah before? Oh.
I can catch my own damn fish.
Why you always throwing stuff at me? I was trying to be nice.
I don't need you to be nice. I don't need you to be anything. I want to be left the hell alone. Then I won't come around again.
Good.
Great. Bye.
She's still there.
Thought you were going.
I am.
I didn't give birth to him, but he was mine. He was born to my sister. That's what I called her, anyway. I lost her when he was born.
Oh, is he buried out there?
I held Matthew tight. Dog's mama was next to me. She was pregnant. got separated from my family and I ran. I felt like I ran forever. Then I ended up here and I saw my boy was bit.
God damn it. Did she put him down?
I said goodbye to him the same day Dog was born. I haven't seen another soul out here since.
Daryl's the first fresh face.
Who'd you lose?
So many people. So many people.
My brother. Never found the body.
And you think he's still out there?
I don't know.
Wait, he's talking about Rick, right? I was thinking Mo. Yeah, no, I was thinking immediately about Mo way back when. But I was like, wait, Rick was his brother afterwards. Rick, he had a strong relationship with Rick than he ever did with Mo. Yeah, okay, that makes more sense. That would make more sense.
What?
First try. Told you.
Ah, spearfishing.
Lucky shot.
He always calls it beginner's luck and a lucky shot. Yeah.
Let's get another one.
Oh. So they actually ended up together then, for a period of time.
Where do you belong, Daryl? Out there in the river? Looking for your dead brother day after day after day? Or do you belong with the family you left? Because it was too hard to face what happened? Or do you belong here with me?
Oh, damn. Oh. That is a very controversial question to posit. Very controversial. Oh, is Leah's gone? Oh, she's gone. Oh, and she took the picture, took the photo and everything else with her. Is this all because Daryl couldn't answer the question, or because he wouldn't answer the question? Oh, dog. Dog, okay. I belong with you. Find me. Ah, so leaving that for Leah.
Losing Leah, that's not on you. Neither is Rick. Or Connie.
No, that's on you.
Well,
You never know when to stop.
yeah, you know what, that's a very fair point. That is a very fair point.
Sorry for Connie.
That's a very fair point.
But I'm not sorry for going after the Horde, and I'm not sorry for making Alpha pay for killing Henry, because I was right.
And that's all that matters. You being right. Huh?
I don't need a savior, Daryl, and I don't need a martyr. I just need a friend.
Friends don't have the same damn conversation over and over again.
Oh, is that what's happening here? Because this is new to me.
It's what's been happening.
Our luck's run out, you and me. It's gonna be dark soon. I'm gonna fix the door.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, I won't lie. Personally, it was a good episode, a good kind of informative, more historical episode. But it didn't seem as kind of not to say it wasn't engaging, but it didn't really seem it had like as much going on as the previous episode. I mean, the previous episode, I think that they would need that one to actually be more enticing and more kind of action packed in order to actually get people back into the flow of actually watching Walking Dead every weekend. But with this one, it just seemed more like, it was actually one of the slower paced ones that just had like a bit more kind of down to earth kind of calmness compared to the usual drama The Walking Dead has going on. So I still enjoyed it. It was still a fun episode to watch, and it was a great way to explore more of the history between Daryl and Dog and where Dog originally came from, and stuff. So it was fun. It was very, very funny. So I mean, one thing I will say is that, in terms of the history, because there are years between, as first proven and as first displayed by the time jump showing Judith's age, there are years between Rick's actual death, and also between the actual present day stuff where we actually see Connie and Kelly and Luke and everyone else actually meeting the group with Judith and everything. there's actual time and space between it. Sometimes these time jumps actually just don't really line up chronologically in my head, but it's literally just due to my kind of staggered consumption of the Walking Dead episodes, and mine like not fully kind of understanding how the timeline actually works and what happened and when it happened and how it happened and all that kind of stuff. So because of that, I think Leah's existence and presence in the show and her name being mentioned was familiar but not exactly concrete for me. Like I couldn't tell if and when Daryl had ever actually mentioned Leah to Carol, because apparently he said he did. He said that he had actually told her about her, but just not everything. So yeah, so in this episode we actually met Leah. So yeah, and I think I think the actress, the face seems. I think I don't know if it's makeup or something else, but I think they did kind of maybe add like a few wrinkles to make her look considerably older. But I think she still seemed very, very recognizable to me, and like the face, the face alone seemed familiar, because I think it may well be the same actress who was actually in X-Men Origins Wolverine as Logan's love interest, and she kind of, I think I haven't really seen that movie more than twice, maybe back when it came out. So I think the faces in that aren't exactly all too fresh. I think I know like a few faces, and Leah's actress is definitely one of them. So it's cool to see her in this. And she was the original owner. She was the original owner of Dog, and she had a very traumatic history of her own, which kind of gave her some sense of a connection to Daryl. So yeah, so she had a son, Matthew, like an adoptive son, So her sister had actually died during childbirth, and then had given birth to Matthew, and then after that, Leah took Matthew in and tried to raise him as her own. So I think even from the photo, I think he actually did kind of, like he was alive for like a significant amount of time, like maybe like 5 to 10 or something like that, but he was still very much like a child and stuff. So that was cool, and I think she was former military too, because she said that like the only real family she ever really had was actually the squad that she found, and she fought with them and she survived. So I think I mean, it could mean military, it could just mean that people she kind of maybe part of like a squadron of some kind of thing. Her saying squad made me think like initially like an actual like a military squad and stuff, and she seems to know how to handle herself. She has guns and things. She doesn't have military grade like assault rifles or anything like that, but she does still have that kind of like basic weaponry, like the double barrel and everything else. So that was cool. But she had a pretty kind of tough past with them, and she lost Matthew to the Walkers too. She actually was surrounded by the dead, and even the original Dog that was actually Dog's mother as well was pregnant with Dog, and then she gave birth to Dog. I mean, did she mention what happened? I think she might have mentioned that dog died or like something else happened, but she was with Dog's mama who was pregnant, and then Matthew was there as well, and then she was kind of holding him together, and then the dead were all around them, and then she just ran. I think she apparently just separated. She got separated from her family, but she just ran, and then when she came back, Matthew was bitten. And then Dog was there too. So Dog, I mean, we saw Dog when he was like a bit of a pupper, like like a good few months after the 2 years where we saw him actually meeting Carol. So fair to say he had aged like a considerable amount. So that was cool. So then she lost a human child and then gained an animal child. So she actually lost Matthew after he was bitten, and then she actually gained Dog too. So it was just her and Dog against the world after that. So yeah, so pretty kind of traumatic backstory for Leah right there. Yeah, and then she asked Daryl about who he had lost, and yeah, I won't lie, when Daryl mentioned he lost a brother, like him saying a brother, like I didn't immediately think of, I don't know why, but I didn't immediately think of Rick. Like it would make more sense he would be thinking of Rick, because on the one hand he had a stronger kind of brother relationship to Rick than he like later on down the line than he ever really did to Merle. And it's that whole thing of like, found family is stronger than, like your blood family and stuff like that. So I think that one, but then also more recently, it would also count more to actually Rick. So I don't know why and especially like him, like saying, oh, he never, like it was like an accident and he never found the body. And I was like, are you sure? How do you remember you literally walking up on like a zombified Merle, munching on intestines and, human flesh and everything? And I was like, wait, no, he means Rick. Oh, just don't mind me, I'm an idiot. But yeah, so he actually did mention how he more recently lost Rick, and he didn't really believe he was fully dead. He didn't, because they never found a body. So he was still kind of maintaining hope and keeping an eye out for him, and he was actually it's why he was actually down. I think at least she mentioned that it's actually why he was down by that river, actually trying to actually hoping that he could actually catch him out and stuff. I mean, that's optimistic, but also I think if he was in the river for that long, then I don't really know if he would actually survive for that long either. Because even if he doesn't drown, then that river isn't exactly clean. So yeah, I mean, I'm probably thinking too much into that, but either way, we as an audience know that Jadis did actually manage to actually get a helicopter to pull him out and get him to safety. So yeah, and then we'll finally find out what actually happens to him in the Rick Grimes movies coming out. So that will be a blast too. But yeah, so we got plenty of history between Daryl and Leah, and then Daryl and Leah even actually eventually got together. They actually started to connect as kind of lone wolf style survivors out there in the woods in the wild, and start to connect in that way, and they actually started to meet up more. I think Dog loving them both, Dog loving Leah and loving Daryl. He used to use his kind of style of urgent running and barking and everything to draw Daryl back to Leah and try and get them back together. So Dog is a matchmaker. Dog is an awesome canine companion, and he's a matchmaker. That is a duality that's hard to beat. So he kind of helped pull them together and everything, and help them connect. So yeah, and then we actually saw that they actually started to spend more time together, actually spearfishing and gazing at the sun through paper or whatever that was. I don't know what that was, and actually then getting together at the end too. So it was fun. And then yeah, so the more kind of controversial story piece came with Leah positing the more difficult question of the episode of making Daryl choose between her, the river, or the community, so the people back home, like Carol and Maggie and everyone else. So. And yeah, I think as soon as that came up, I was like, yep, this isn't really going to hit too hard with the fan base. It's because I think, people kind of feel a certain ways about Daryl, and especially when it comes to his relationship with other characters too. And if a new character comes along, or if a new character is finally introduced and finally, kind of characterized and personified to people, then it's easier for the people who don't like that character to actually hate on them now, knowing who they are and what they look like and exactly what they've done. So so she posed to the question of either he belonged to the river that he was using to search for his dead brother every day, or he belonged to the community of people that kind of let him go and stuff, and then or he belonged with her. And I think with Leah, right? I think it's good that they actually left it. I think it was definitely before that. It was definitely before that piece, because I think it was actually when she was actually explaining her backstory. I think she had actually emphasized the fact that in all that time, after she had lost everything to the dead and to the outbreak, and then all she had left after that was Dog, the first human face she had seen in a long time was Daryl. And then not only that, but then he wasn't just a fleeting face. He wasn't just like a passerby. He was someone that, albeit due to Dog's matchmaking and due to Dog's kind of, irresistible charm as a dog, he kept on coming back. He kept on being drawn back to that place, and he kept on meeting Leah in that way. So they had each other's faces actually etched into their minds the more they met. And I think when you think about being that, living like that too, living out in the middle of nowhere in a cabin where your only kind of companion is an animal, when you come across your first human in a long while, you do tend to kind of keep that kind of memory inside of you. So then with Daryl, especially Daryl is just like her too. He's a survivor. He's a kind of lone wolf. He's very, very distant and cold, and he tries to avoid attachments and stuff in case he loses people and stuff like that. So I think with that one, Leah could somewhat connect to, and especially the first time they met too, she literally kind of tied him up and kept him prisoner for for all of 5 minutes before letting him go and everything. So I think that was also a sign that she didn't really want to keep him around for too long in case she actually got to know him and then something happened to him, and then that would be another human that she'd have to say goodbye to. So So there was that, but with this, then like actually getting to know him more and actually finding out that they've both lost people and that they're both kind of down this kind of similar kind of like road in life now. It's harder to let go of someone like that. So then she actually, I think she didn't really start to get possessive, but she did start to actually let her kind of her newfound her mentality, I'd say, her mentality that she like if you find something good, then you got to keep hold of it, and especially if you find something good in a world like this, then it's less recommended to let go of it and that kind of thing. So that I think knowing that kind of makes that situation, makes that whole scene and context easier to deal with, like knowing that she wasn't just trying to be possessive or controlling or trying to give Daryl a hard time, but it's just the fact that she is like that, like they've both been through some shit together. But with Daryl, with Daryl, he actively has kind of new objectives and like a new path. But with Leah, it's literally just it's only ever really been survival. So they're still kind of they're on similar road paths, but their destinations are somewhat more different. So it's like harder for her to deal with actually letting him go in that sense too. And he even said like, oh, it's only going to be for a few days, and then I'll come back. But then knowing what things are like and knowing exactly what he's looking for, that could change at any given time. So yeah, it's interesting stuff. It's interesting stuff. And then that final ending scene between Daryl and Carol was kind of somewhat more kind of characteristic of their kind of, especially like their kind of recent relationship together, and actually talking about what Carol's done and what Daryl's trying to do and stuff, and bringing up the whole kind of Connie thing and everything. Like, yeah, the Connie thing, it's that episode, right? I think, honestly, like, having watched that episode is one of the reasons I kind of regret not having done reactions to it's one of the reasons I regret not having done reactions to that entire section of the series, because I think that section was still great to watch. It was still really fun to watch and see how the story progressed. But watching that episode gave me so much kind of anxiety and panic around losing people, because I think so much could have been avoided if Carol just didn't feel the stubborn need to chase after to Alpha, thinking that she could actually get to her and then kill her on the spot, because we knew that's not how this is going to go. Alpha is too big a villain to die that easily, and also she's too smart of a villain to actually let herself fall prey to Carol like that easily too. So there's so much could have been avoided. Like, that entire episode could have been avoided if they hadn't done that, because Carol following her and then following her into the cave, and then all of them being trapped in a cave full of walkers and needing to actually get out and stuff, like, just so much could have been avoided if that didn't happen. And I think I that episode honestly made me feel more fear for Jerry than I ever have in my entire time watching this show and stuff. So yeah, it's just such a nerve-wracking episode, and such an episode that makes you go, this one thing led to so much crap, led to so much stuff that just it would have been better if that didn't happen. But I mean, yeah, but we kind of understandably have Daryl kind of calling her out on that, like, yeah, don't worry, that's not on me. I don't blame myself for that. That's on you. That's on you and your stubborn need for vengeance and everything. Like, you had so many other ways. Like, you had so many other ways and opportunities to actually plan out some kind of vengeance on Alpha, but then you chose the more kind of, like the more kind of impulsive way to actually try and get after her. Like, you see her, and then all of a sudden it's all hands on deck and you're lunging after her and everything. So yeah, but in the end they actually got to her and things worked out. And yeah, and I think it shows that it's like the two different ways she has of actually trying to get to Alpha. The one that's actually more planned and coordinated, which was her actually unlocking Negan and giving him that mission to potentially redeem himself, but also actually do something good for both of them. So that was actually the one which is actually smarter about it and actually did something something like, albeit no less risky, but still something actually smarter and more controlled and everything. And then on the other hand, she still has that impulsive side of her that she just sees Alpha like 10 feet away and she just like, yep, just gotta get my running shoes on and chase after her. So yeah, and then that final scene too, like, Carol and Dow just once again kind of, just establishing that there's no luck in actually retaining their friendship or actually understanding each other or actually maintaining any sense of kind of support or neutrality. So yeah, and I think Carol and Dow, they've definitely had one of the most interesting relationships on the show. one of the most interesting relationships on the show, and I think part of that is also due to kind of Carol's kind of progression as a character too, like seeing how far she's come, seeing what she's done, seeing like who she's been connected to, and stuff like that. So then, but I think besides for I think despite that, there have still been issues between Carol and Daryl because of what she's done and also who she is and what she's become, but also what she's willing to do. So, I think again, like it's been one of the more interesting relationships on the show to see progress, like from like friends to very very kind of distant, like opposite ended kind of people on the kind of friendship spectrum and on the kind of like mentality spectrum and everything. So. Yeah, so I think, again, I think this doesn't really mean that they're gonna stop being friends. I think, I think this definitely feels like a lot like one of those moments where it's like, like as time goes on, they're just gonna need more time to think and be apart from each other, and then afterwards, when the threat hits home again, they're all gonna realize that they need to stick together, and especially to help Maggie too, because if the Reapers are coming back, then they're gonna need to help Maggie and reunite then. So yeah, fun stuff. But yeah, that is it. That is pretty much all I've got from this one. Again, it didn't really feel like as much happened, but it was still kind of it still definitely felt like an entertaining Walking Dead episode. And it definitely still felt like one of the more grounded, slower, more heartfelt, one of the more heartfelt Walking Dead episodes that focus on the characters themselves. So it was still fun in that sense. So hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. And same goes for the reaction too. So yeah, that is all I've had. That is all I've got. So that was The Walking Dead season 10, episode 18. So thank you guys as always so much for being here and for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed it, then salt and burn that like button. Comment on what you thought of the episode and what you think is coming up next time on The Walking Dead. Once again, the full-length reaction will be available on Patreon, so you can go check that over there. And yeah, that is it. So, I will see you guys next time.